I grew up, everyone, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a drummer. And everyone's
Was that
like,
what you said as a kid?
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Um,
What was the response when you said, I want to be a drummer?
You're stupid. Like, I grew up in the suburbs of Michigan. We're still from there, but yeah, there's no professional musicians that I knew of coming out of Michigan. There are, but you've got Kid Rock, you've got Eminem. Like, there's some
Cracker.
big, yeah, Uncle Cracker. There's some big players, but yeah, everyone's like, you're stupid. Go to school. Go to university. For you, I wouldn't say college, but go to college and get a degree in business. And I'm like, I don't care about business. I want to play drums. The ironic thing is that to be able to play drums professionally, I had to learn a lot about business. But then, by my own accord, really fell in love with a lot of it. Because it's like, I think any musician starts to love it because it's very challenging. It's very challenging to develop a skill in songwriting or singing or drumming or whatever that is. And then at a certain point, it's not, you've never arrived. You can always get better, but I think business has that same thing too, right? Where it's like, oh, now it's not just drumming that I have to get better at. Business is an umbrella term, there's accounting, there's marketing, there's blah, 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 blah. So there's endless things to
You have
challenge yourself.
direct input on the lyrics that you write, the melodies that come out. You don't have the same with how well the accounts are put together and if you negotiate the margin on the merch 10% off. Like, I always used to feel bad when I ran nightclubs in my 20s because I had this sense that my success, I could always excuse my successes away. I was like Velcro for criticism, self-criticism, and Teflon for self-praise, because your contribution to the success of a business, anything really within the business operations, even if you come up with the best marketing tagline of all time, you're not the one that delivered it. You're not the one that chose how the audience responded to it. And you're not the one that said that the sales, whatever, created the page that had the conversion rate optimization that did the... and it meant that I always was more easily able to ignore where I'd done well with things like that. And I think one of the great things about what you guys do and what I think everybody needs in their life is something where a direct, it's almost one-to-one input to output ratio of effort to reward is available. If you write a fucking slamming song, individually or as a group, like that thing is yours and you made it directly. There was no molestation in between you and this thing happening. And I think a lot of the time people feel out of control and out of connection with what's going on in their lives because there are so many layers of fuckery between them and the shit that is supposed to be the goal on the other side of it.
100%. And that's why I think as much as the business stuff has been enjoyable to really dive into and grow, like, that's why I'm still so happy that I'm a musician in a band, because you do have these moments. Like with this last album we made, we blocked off 8 months where basically Mondays from 10 to 6, we show up in the studio every day and we just walk in. We walk in not knowing what we want to create, and we walk out with something. And that I just don't have that in any other area of my life where it feels like pure creativity. And those short moments are like just so awesome. Like driving home in your car, listening to this 30-second demo that you just wrapped up 5 minutes ago. And then the next day on the way to the studio, you listen to it and you're like, actually, it sucks, but the drive home felt so magical. But now we have to improve it. And you constantly, Eric comes in and is like, yeah, that sucks, but let's do this. And then you're like, oh shit, that's awesome now. And it's just like, it feels like pure creativity, and it's incredible.
Yeah, crazy to think that you come in with, 5 dudes come in a room and haven't even talked about what we're going to work on today. And we sit down and you find some central meeting point and you just pull things out of thin air. And then you leave 8 hours later going, we have a 30-second audio file. There's something that came out of nothing, you know. And that bit of creativity and feeling that reward is unlike anything else we have going on in our life. I feel like, you know, you come in with nothing and you leave with something that was created by a group of friends that you're like, there was nothing before this, and now we have this piece of art, and you feel like you got something off your chest, or you feel excited with the direction this thing is going, and then it starts shaping the record, and then you're like, okay, well, we did this. What should be the counterpart of this song? You know, what we did something a little heavier on this. Let's just the whole creative process is so rewarding, in that sense.
What have you learned about navigating a